Believe it or not, your tires and your taste buds have something shocking in common. They're both controlled by the same French family dynasty that transformed rubber circles into 29 billion euros of global influence. While you obsessively chase dinner reservations at three-star restaurants, you're actually participating in history's most brilliant marketing stunt. A tire company that somehow convinced the entire world it should decide what constitutes culinary perfection. Indeed, the Michelin brothers didn't just sell rubber. They engineered a century-spanning sleight of hand that elevated roadside restaurant recommendations into gastronomy's equivalent of the Nobel Prize. Thus, in today's episode of Old Money Luxury, we share the remarkable story of how two French brothers built an empire on rubber and fine dining, perhaps the most improbable corporate marriage since airlines started selling perfume. Let's face it, only the French could build an empire on rubber and fine dining, the most improbable corporate marriage since someone decided airlines should sell perfume. Michelin, the 138-year-old French behemoth, has masterfully transformed itself from a humble tire manufacturer into a tech-forward mobility powerhouse worth a staggering 29.8 billion euros in 2025. If you're thinking that's impressive, their annual revenues hit 29.5 billion euros last year with a 12.7% operating margin. Numbers that would make even the most hardened Wall Street shark salivate uncontrollably. The company's stock has surged 18% since 2023, outperforming both the CAC 40 index and rivals like Continental AG, proving that sometimes the old guard can teach the young tech upstarts a lesson or two in corporate longevity. While other traditional manufacturers cling desperately to their fossil fuel past, Michelin has rolled aggressively into the green future, with 53% of their materials now derived from sustainable sources, nearly double what they managed just 5 years ago. Their revolutionary airless Uptise tires, yes, puncture-proof tires that look like something stolen from NASA, are now equipped on 30,000 commercial fleet vehicles globally, making flat tires as relevant as VHS tapes and fax machines. The electric vehicle boom hasn't caught Michelin napping either. Their specialized e-primacy EV tires now come standard on 14 different electric models from manufacturers like Volkswagen, Ford and BYD, demonstrating that sometimes the wheel actually does need reinventing. But Michelin's most extraordinary feat isn't their tire business at all. It's how they've convinced the world that a rubber company should determine which restaurants deserve immortal culinary glory. The legendary Michelin Guide now wields unprecedented global influence, with 3,580 starred restaurants across 45 destinations worldwide, including, for the first time, Africa and expanded Middle Eastern coverage. Their coveted 3-star rating, an honor held by just 172 establishments globally, can transform an unknown chef into a culinary deity overnight, or reduce a kitchen tyrant to tears with a single downgrade. The guide itself has evolved with new distinctions like the Green Star for Sustainable Gastronomy and the Cultural Heritage recognition launched in 2024, proving that even institutions can adapt while maintaining their mystique. Their digital transformation now allows diners to point smartphones at restaurant exteriors to instantly view ratings through augmented reality, while their proprietary Taste Match algorithm offers personalized recommendations based on individual preference data. Critics charge that the system remains Eurocentric, with 68% of 3-star restaurants still located in Europe and Japan, but Michelin has responded by diversifying its inspector teams and revising evaluation criteria to better recognize global culinary traditions. All this innovation and global influence stems from a company that sells at its core round rubber things that make cars not scrape along the ground, surely one of history's most remarkable corporate pivots. And to think, this empire of tires and taste was built by two brothers who initially manufactured bicycle tires in a small factory in Clermont-Ferrand, France. Their audacious vision transforming a simple family business into a global arbiter of both mobility and gastronomy through equal parts engineering brilliance and marketing genius. The seeds of the Michelin empire were planted long before the brothers André and Edouard took control of their destiny. Their maternal grandfather, Aristide Barbier, had established a small agricultural equipment and rubber products factory in Clermont-Ferrand back in 1832, producing an eclectic range of items from farm implements to rubber balls for children. By the time the Michelin brothers entered the scene, the once promising family business teetered on the brink of collapse. André Jules Michelin entered the world on January 16, 1853 in Paris, already destined for engineering greatness, establishing himself as a successful engineer in the French capital. Edouard, born 6 years later on June 23, 1859 in Clermont-Ferrand, showed remarkable talent as an artist. The brothers pursued separate careers until 1886, when their mother Adèle, facing mounting pressure from creditors, called upon her sons to rescue the floundering enterprise. André, then 33, made the pivotal decision to abandon his promising Parisian engineering career, quickly recruiting his younger brother Edouard as managing director, recognizing his artistic sensibilities would complement his own technical expertise. The renamed Michelin & C factory employed only 50 workers when the brothers assumed leadership, producing items including a novel brake pad for horse-drawn carriages, ominously named the Silent, perhaps foreshadowing their quiet but relentless rise to global prominence. True inspiration struck in 1889 when a cyclist with a punctured tire appeared at their workshop door, seeking assistance with what was then a common but time-consuming problem. The standard pneumatic bicycle tires of that era were glued directly to the rim, requiring specialized tools and hours of frustrating labor to repair even a simple puncture. Edouard became fascinated with this mechanical challenge, applying his artistic creativity to an engineering problem. He envisioned a fundamentally different approach, a tire that could be easily removed and replaced by the rider. Working through numerous prototypes, he developed what would become the world's first detachable pneumatic tire, securing a patent for this revolutionary design by 1891. The timing proved perfect, as cycling was experiencing unprecedented popularity throughout Europe. When a cyclist won a race using Michelin tires that same year, orders flooded in from over 10,000 enthusiastic riders. André, meanwhile, recognized the broader potential of their innovation. The nascent automobile industry remained minuscule in France, with fewer than 3,000 cars nationwide. Most dismissed these noisy, unreliable contraptions as expensive novelties for eccentric enthusiasts. But André understood something profound. Transportation's future lay in motorized vehicles, not horses, and every one of these vehicles would need reliable tires. The brothers' complementary talents created perfect synergy, Edouard overseeing manufacturing and research operations, while André managed sales and strategic vision. Together, they transformed a failing agricultural equipment business into a company poised to revolutionize global transportation. What began as a desperate attempt to save their family's legacy would soon alter the course of industrial history in ways neither brother could have imagined. By 1895, the Michelin brothers had accomplished their first automotive milestone, equipping a vehicle called L'Éclair with their pneumatic tires for the Paris-Bordeaux-Paris race, making history as the first car to ride on air across such distance. Though the car didn't win, it demonstrated something far more valuable: the practicality of pneumatic tires for automobiles, instantly associating Michelin with automotive innovation. As automobile ownership slowly grew in France, André Michelin identified a critical obstacle to widespread adoption: infrastructure and information. Early motorists faced harrowing uncertainties. Where could they find fuel? Who could repair their vehicles? Where might they sleep during journeys? Their solution was nothing short of revolutionary: create a comprehensive guide that would empower motorists to venture confidently across France. In 1900, the first Michelin Guide was born, a small red book distributed free to drivers, containing practical information including maps, tire repair instructions, mechanics listings, fuel stations, and hotels throughout France. André conceived this as pure marketing brilliance: encourage people to drive more, and they would naturally need more tires. A pivotal moment in the guide's evolution came in 1920, when André visited a tire shop and discovered copies of his precious guides being used to prop up a workbench, treated as worthless because they had been given away freely. This observation sparked a profound insight about human psychology. Man only truly respects what he pays for. The brothers immediately implemented a new approach, charging 7 francs for the next edition. This strategic shift transformed the guide from promotional material into a valuable commodity with perceived authority. With this transition came significant improvements. They eliminated advertisements, expanded hotel listings beyond Paris, and categorized restaurants more systematically. Most critically, they assembled a team of anonymous inspectors to visit and review restaurants throughout France. These mystery diners embodied the Michelin approach: rigorous, anonymous, and consistent. The star rating system evolved gradually. In 1926, they began marking fine dining establishments with a single star. By 1931, the full 3-star hierarchy was introduced, establishing the framework that would eventually become gastronomy's highest honor. 1 star signified a very good restaurant in its category, 2 stars meant excellent cooking, worth a detour, and 3 stars represented exceptional cuisine, worth a special journey. The brothers' genius lay in connecting their rating system directly to automotive travel, the very activity that would increase tire sales. This era also saw the birth of their iconic mascot, Bibendum, the Michelin Man, constructed from tires, created by artist Marius Rossillon, known as Au Galop, becoming one of the world's oldest and most successful trademarks. World War II again interrupted publication, but not before the Michelin Guide had established itself as an indispensable resource. The guide's maps were considered so accurate that Allied forces specifically requested their reprinting in 1944 for military use during liberation. Through 2 world wars and economic upheavals, the Michelin brothers had transformed a simple marketing tool into a cultural institution. What began as a clever scheme to sell more tires had inadvertently created the most influential food rating system in history. The post-war period marked a new chapter for Michelin as the company resumed publishing its guide on May 16, 1945, just 1 week after V-Day. Europe's devastated landscapes presented both challenge and opportunity for the tire manufacturer with culinary aspirations. War's lingering shortages initially forced Michelin to impose a maximum of 2 stars rather than 3, a restriction that would remain until 1950. Throughout these transitional years, the Michelin family maintained unwavering commitment to their original vision while expanding both their industrial and publishing empires. The tire business flourished as automobile ownership exploded across Europe, with Michelin consistently at the forefront of innovation. In 1946, the company revolutionized the industry by introducing the radial tire, a design that would become the global standard for decades, improving fuel efficiency, handling, and durability. Meanwhile, the Michelin Guide steadily expanded its influence and geographic reach far beyond French borders. Italy received its first Michelin Guide in 1956, though notably awarded no stars in that initial edition. Great Britain welcomed back the guide in 1974 after a 43-year absence, with 25 establishments receiving stars. The guide's methodology remained remarkably consistent: anonymous inspectors visiting restaurants multiple times, applying identical standards across countries and cultures, establishing unprecedented credibility in a subjective field. By the late 20th century, the Michelin Guide had transcended its origin as a clever marketing tool to become a powerful cultural institution. Chefs spoke of Michelin stars with religious reverence, working entire careers for the hope of recognition. The public embraced Michelin's authority so completely that a single star could transform an unknown restaurant into an international destination overnight. The mysterious inspectors wielded tremendous influence, their criteria remaining consistent: quality of ingredients, mastery of technique, harmony of flavors, personality of chef, and consistency between visits. Not until 2005 did Michelin venture across the Atlantic, publishing its first American guide focused on New York City. Tokyo received its inaugural guide in 2007, instantly becoming the city with the most Michelin stars globally. Hong Kong and Macau joined the roster in 2008. Throughout this expansion, Michelin navigated cultural differences delicately, adapting to regional dining customs while maintaining their core standards. Their rating system occasionally sparked controversy. Some accused Michelin of favoring French techniques over authentic local traditions, while others questioned whether Western inspectors could properly evaluate Eastern cuisines. The pressure proved immense, with some celebrated chefs famously returning their stars, citing unbearable stress. French chef Bernard Loiseau tragically took his life in 2003 amid rumors his restaurant might lose its third star. Yet for every such story, countless others celebrated Michelin's transformative impact on their careers. A single star could increase a restaurant's business by 20% overnight, while 3 stars could command year-long waiting lists. By the early 21st century, the Michelin Guide had expanded to 23 countries across 4 continents. Beyond stars, Michelin introduced additional recognitions: the Bib Gourmand highlighting good value establishments, and later the Green Star celebrating sustainability. What began as a promotional tool for selling tires had transformed into gastronomy's supreme authority, defining excellence, shaping careers, and influencing dining cultures worldwide. Today's Michelin bears little resemblance to the struggling rubber factory the brothers inherited in 1889. The company now stands as a $25 billion global powerhouse spanning 69 manufacturing facilities across 18 countries. Both the tire business and the publishing empire continue to flourish, though the founding brothers would scarcely recognize their creation's modern incarnation. The Michelin Guide now covers 37 countries across Europe, Asia, North America, and South America, with expansion continuing yearly. 145 restaurants worldwide hold the coveted 3 Michelin stars as of 2024, representing the absolute pinnacle of global gastronomy. The guide's influence has evolved with modern technology. Free paper guides replaced by subscription digital platforms and mobile apps. Yet the core methodology remains remarkably unchanged. Anonymous professional inspectors still visit establishments multiple times before awarding stars. The criteria still emphasize quality ingredients, harmony of flavors, cooking mastery, chef personality, and consistency between visits. Michelin continuously adapts to changing culinary landscapes, introducing the Green Star in 2020 to recognize sustainable practices. This evolution reflects contemporary values while maintaining the guide's historical authority. The family dynasty that created this empire experienced tragedy in 2006 when Édouard Michelin, great-grandson of co-founder Édouard, drowned while fishing near the island of Saint at age 42. As managing partner and co-chief executive, his death shocked the company and brought Michel Rollier, a second cousin, to leadership. Since then, leadership has transitioned beyond family control, though the Michelin name remains synonymous with both tire excellence and culinary authority. The company's diversification continues beyond tires and guides. Michelin now publishes maps, develops digital navigation services, and operates experience centers worldwide. Their fleet management services help commercial operations optimize tire usage while minimizing environmental impact. Through economic upheavals, technological revolutions, and changing consumer preferences, Michelin has demonstrated remarkable resilience. Indeed, what other family business can claim to have reshaped 2 entirely different industries while maintaining excellence and authority in both? And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. Were you aware of the Michelin brand's lengthy history through both tyres and food? We can't wait to hear your thoughts. And thanks again for joining us for another episode of Old Money Luxury.